and just chat a little. Simply because, well, one, I thought I lost my a portion of my small tripod for the car, but I didn't. I recently found the entire thing. How you gonna look at me crazy? And you was driving crazy. That is so rude. Anyway, yeah, I recently found it. I was just looking at something and I found the pieces that go together. So I was so excited, and I just got a new phone. So I'm really excited. That's what we're recording on today. Anyhow, I hope you guys are doing really, really good. I have not, like, I know I sat down and told you guys like what's going on, certain updates and stuff like that, but I haven't just sat and talked to you about certain things, like just different topics or whatever. So I was at work. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she brought up an important point, like something that made me think, which sparked me recording this video. She was saying there are, like, when people, this is actually what I said, when people notice things that they don't like about other people, and sometimes the things that they notice about those people are an exact reflection of what they do or their personality also. And I didn't, like, what she said to me was, these people are pretty much the same person, just in different circumstances. And I'm like, dang, I never really looked at it that way, because one person I have rapport with, and relationship, or like we're, cordial. The other person, I don't, like, at all. And for me, that made me think, like, okay, there's literally things in our lives that, like, at least in mine, I'm saying mine, things in my life that I will excuse just on the strength of having a relationship with a person, or knowing the person more than surface level. And I think that's what kind of sparked, like, my mind just started, like, racing and, like, thinking about this, like, literally in most circumstances, whether it's work, school, whatever, like any circumstance, like relationships that you have at work, as opposed to the ones versus the ones that you have outside of work, are extremely different. But you will see, like, how you react to a person depends on the rapport and the relationship that you have. And just as an example, for me, disrespect is like a no-go. But I'm not extremely vocal when it comes to somebody saying something disrespectful to me. So, like, I'm, unfortunately it's something I'm working on, but, like, I'm the type of person, if you say something disrespectful to me, I'm gonna shut down and go into my, my quiet place, and, like, trying to figure out what the root of that is, and then adjust myself accordingly. Whereas someone on the outside looking at it might think, like, when she's shutting down, she's upset. Opposite. Like, I'm upset, but I'm also thinking how I can shift myself, because now you've shown yourself. And in that example, if you say something disrespectful when I shut down, and it's someone that I have a relationship with, like, we're cool or whatever, and I know you beyond that circumstance, it's easier for me to, like, be like, okay, that's just in this circumstance, as opposed to someone who, if you disrespect me and say something disrespectful, then I'm gonna do the same thing, adjust myself accordingly, but we don't have a rapport, and that's not okay. Like, it's not okay for you to talk to me out your neck like that, So for me, I'm just noticing, like, literally we will really disregard the unhealthy things that people do towards us on account of relationships, which for me means relationships are extremely important. Relationships are so important. That's not to say that we should ignore toxic behavior. So you should never, I don't think that you should just always allow somebody to disrespect you. I'm not saying that at all. I don't endorse that. I'm definitely not supporting that. What I am saying is that building relationships with people, especially people who are important in your life, I hope that doesn't come across wrong, like people who are important in your life, means a lot, because there's certain things that everybody has their things. Like, nobody's perfect, right? But everybody has their thing that they just do because it's just them. They might have a mannerism that offends you or something, but it's just who they are and how they came up, and maybe they don't understand or acknowledge that it's toxic, or see that it affects you in a certain way or whatever. And really really it is toxic, but they may not understand. So it's building that relationship with a person to really get to see the root of who that person is, and like appreciating them outside of whatever circumstances is not cool with you, you know, like in order for you to actually know who that person is. This is why I also am so much for getting to know yourself and learning to love yourself, and learning yourself is a huge thing. Not just because, like I say this all the time, it's not a selfish thing. Getting to learn yourself and know yourself and know what, you know, what makes you tick, and what the things that push your buttons and make you upset, like the different things, and like the actual root of the things that cause you different emotions or make you feel certain things. Like, learning yourself is extremely important, because you never know, like, you want to just be aware, because you never know how that's what I was trying to say. You never know how that's going to affect someone else. Everybody has their own buttons. Everybody has their own ticks. Everybody has their own whatever, you know, and just knowing yourself, first of all, of course you want to know, like, you guys know that I'm all about love. So understanding what, when I say love God, love yourself, love other people, this is what I'm talking about. You love God enough to get to know him, right? Spend time with him, you study, you know, you read his word and stuff like that. You go to services, fellowship with the people, you know, serve, all these different types of things. That's loving God and, you know, getting to know and spending time with him. Same thing with yourself. Learning to love yourself, learning to know yourself, and all these things is extremely important, because when you go to try to affect other people, or when you're just in relationship with other people, you're in the company of other people, you want to be aware of the things that you do, so that if someone brings that up, you're able to say, you know what, that's true. I do this. I appreciate you bringing it to me. If we're completely oblivious to our own, like, flaws and faults, then when someone comes to us, we get extremely offensive. It's an opportunity. I won't say all, but that's an opportunity for a person to get extremely offended, because you're like, I don't do that. I'm not offensive. I didn't say anything wrong. But it's so important to really know, you know, kind of pay attention to yourself and really see, like, maybe certain behaviors of mine that I don't like in this person, or that I don't like, or that offend me or make me feel a certain way, could be a reflection of something that I need to work on. And I shouldn't, like, now, I guess now more so in my adulthood, I try to look at stuff, what I was telling my coworker, I try to look at stuff from a bigger picture. So, like, yeah, if you say something that I get offended by, I take a second quietly, internally, just to be like, okay, I know this person. It's not an offensive type of thing. The way they said it, we can address that. But what they're saying is not untrue. Maybe they're saying it because of X. You know, I try to, you know, quickly in a couple of seconds, try to just see what that is. And I think that helps so much, because it takes you out of that place of being easily offended all the time. It takes you out of the place of being like, I just can't deal with this person, I'm gonna cut them off. Like, all those different things are also toxic traits as well. Listen, and trust you me, I have some of those things, and that's some of the things that I pray about. I have the shutdown spirit, because I grew up in a environment where a lot of times it's kind of like, kids were not, your opinion don't matter, how you feel don't matter, and that is a result of how my parents were brought up. You know, like, it's a generational thing. So when you get from outside, you know, outside of that familial circle and that sphere of influence that you grow up in, then you see how those traits and things that you built or that you took on coming up affect outside. It's so crazy. It's so deep. I know it's super, super deep on a, you know, this morning, it's so deep for no reason. But, like, these things are so true. Like, I just feel and find the parallel with all these different things. Like literally the way that you, like, if you see something in somebody you don't like it might just be a reflection of you, or it could just be wrong. Like, you know, there is that possibility. Somebody could just be being nasty, and you know, that's definitely a possibility. Definitely, you know, as I always, like, I feel like you can't change other people, but you can change yourself. Like, I feel like, you know, you can't make them be nice, but you can definitely situate yourself in a way that maybe you don't have to interface with them as much. Or when you see them, you're very cordial. You know, you model what it means to be cordial with a person, or you model the thing that they don't have, and maybe it'll rub off. I don't know. But there are ways to kind of combat that. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is it's crazy, like, how it just wraps all together. When you love God, right? Love God, and you're trying to do the best you can. And loving God is not a perfection thing. Like, it's not perfect. You know, we fall in and out. But when you love God enough, you're really on a mission to do the things that he calls right, you know? And because of that, you're always on that mission. You're constantly working on yourself. And it's so important, as I said several times in this video, know yourself, love yourself, and understand the things that you might value and the things that you might not see as horrible. Someone else might take that. So just be vigilant. If someone comes to you and says, hey, this is, you know, like, you have this trait, take it as an opportunity to just be introspective. Not to say you're all bad, they're not all bad, you know, but we have each other to learn from each other. And that is the end of my soapbox today. It's crazy. How can we be just alike and very different at the same time? Anyway, I love you guys so very much. I hope that you're enjoying some of the content that's on my channel. Please let me know below if you have any suggestions or would like me to talk about any specific topic. I have been looking at certain current events and stuff like that. I don't really get all into the politics and stuff like that, but like, if you guys want me to talk about any specific thing, let me know. If you want to know my opinion on certain stuff, I'm absolutely open to letting you know what those are. Yeah, and as I always say, remember to love God, because he is the source of real love, and love is what we need. Remember to love on yourself and appreciate all that God created you to be. And while you're getting that love and learning these lessons, remember to love on other people the best way you can, because that is the way your world will continue to go around. I love you so very much, and I hope you believe that. Bye. I was riding in my neighborhood, started smelling something good. Barbecues in the backyard, and I was rolling down my window, started thinking about when winter snow.